Well, hey everybody, John Redlin here, and this is my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor's Honor Rising Night 1 event where they co-brand and have some really good matches. And this was quite fun. I'm giving this event an automatic thumbs up. A big thank you as always to Jim for sending me that little C-Block trophy. I really do appreciate it. Pull above my head, please grade it there and leave in the comments what you guys think. We have an 8-match card, so let's just get right on with it. I do, however, want to say right now that I may not be able to review the Night 2 event until later on Saturday because I have to work a back-to-back shift. I'm actually going to be working till about 11 p.m. Friday night and then have to be back at work at 7 a.m. in the morning. So, yeah, if I'm not able to have that review up until Saturday night, I do apologize in advance. However, let's get cracking on with this Night 1 event. Video package hyping up Ring of Honor versus New Japan Stars. Really good stuff. Really did enjoy it. Kevin Kelly, Chris Charlton on commentary. And we start off with Ren Narita versus Marty Scurll. Great to see Marty Scurll back in Japan. He is leading Villain Enterprises with PCO and Brody King in Ring of Honor and actually doing pretty well. I've seen Brody King a couple times live. Guy is fucking tremendous. But anyway, Marty Scurll and Ren had a pretty damn good match here. Ren has really improved. There's some good mat wrestling. Scurll did hit some hard chops. Narita did pretty damn well, hitting some good moves. Couple great drop kicks. However, even after a couple close near falls, crossface chicken wing, Marty Scurll gets the victory. And, I mean, come on, what else did you think was going to happen? Still, good showing for Narita, and it was great to see Scurll back in Japan. And then we get Shota Umino and Zack Sabre Jr. in a really competitive match. Actually, when I saw this on the card, I was like, okay, this is going to be like 7 minutes. Show's going to get in some moves. Not that Shota isn't good, but I'm like, Zack Sabre Jr. is going to wipe the floor with him. Not the case. This was really ultra competitive. They were really, really high on Shota, you can tell. And Sabre Jr. didn't look weak necessarily, but this was one he definitely had to earn. There were some great submission skills by Zack. Shota doing incredibly well, hitting some really great moves, including some good submissions. Really nice armbar counter. He did really well there. It almost got the victory, but in the end, he did end up tapping out to a leg lock by Sabre Jr. I believe it was called Napalm something or other. I'm sorry, I missed the name of the move. I'm trying to remember some of this stuff, but it was really good. That was really enjoyable, and it was a damn good competitive match. And you could tell they're high on Shota, and they worked well together. I would not mind seeing maybe in a year or so a full-fledged feud between these guys when Shota goes on excursion and comes back with a fresh persona and everything. Be really interesting. Then we move on to match number 3. John Gresham, who I believe is dating Jordynne Grace, if I remember right. You know, really, really strong, powerful woman that is currently working in Impact Wrestling. He teamed with Jushin Thunder Liger versus Taiji Ishimori and Robbie Eagles. And really, this is all about Gresham and Eagles having some great exchanges and everything, and some really good stuff. They, had a bit of good comedy. Gresham showing up Eagles, even though Eagles is also really tremendous. They had some great exchanges. The problem is then once Liger and Ishimori got tagged, Liger literally gets a roll-up, soon after out of nowhere for the 3. Now, everybody looked confused, and I don't know if that was supposed to happen. They just rolled with it or what, or maybe Liger was just supposed to get that shocking victory, and they just played us, and they just schooled us on it. But still, Liger gained a victory over the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion was certainly shocking. Good stuff. Really good selling there by Ishimori. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if Liger is going to get the victory on the March 6th anniversary show. I don't know if he will, but it'll be very interesting. Very quick finish. So still, I'm not going to downgrade it because it was shocking, but hey, it was good stuff. And then we get an 8-man tag. Toa Henare, Hanma, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson versus Tama Tonga, Tangaloa, and Jack and Jay Briscoe. Almost said Jack and Jerry Briscoe, now I realize, nope. These are the rough and tough Briscoes. Hikuleo, the younger brother of Tama and Tanga, actually is back at ringside. That's great. He suffered an ACL tear last year. He is fully recovered, and that is great. I mean, or at least mostly recovered. I mean, he didn't participate in this match outside of a few bumps, like when the referee was not looking, but still, it was good stuff. You get some tension between the Briscoes and the Tongans, and I will admit right now I've never been the biggest fan of the Briscoes, though I can definitely see why people do enjoy their work. And yeah, they've been the locked in the Ring of Honor for like 10 plus years, and probably will have their entire careers there. It does go outside. Hanma's mainly the one that got targeted. He got targeted for quite a while. Jado caused interference, stopping the Kokeshi. Henare got tagged. He'd hit some moves, but then eventually Juice got tagged. Uh, there was a cane, Jado tried with the cane usage, but ended up hitting one of the Briscoes, and then Juice ends up getting the pin. And this is hyping up Juice Robinson and Finlay versus the Briscoes for the ROH tag titles tomorrow. And actually, Juice came out to a different theme since he is part of a faction in Ring of Honor called Lifeblood, along with a few people, including, I believe, Emma. I don't know everybody that's in the faction. I'm not able to keep up on Ring of Honor TV as much as I would like. But check out other reviews, on there, or other reviews like, from fellow YouTube content creators. They tend to keep up more on Ring of Honor than I can, but this still was a good match with a good way to hype night 2. So very, very fun stuff. And the Briscoes and the Tongans having, their friction afterwards and everything. Hikuleo even attacking Jay Briscoe when Jay got in his face. So I'm all for it. Maybe they could have, the Briscoes team with somebody, possibly Bully Ray versus Hikuleo and Tamatonga and Tangaloa at some point. Maybe. Who knows? Then we get the Never Openweight 6-man title match. We get Taguchi, Yano, and Makabe, the champions, versus Colt Cabana, Cheeseburger, and Delirious. I saw Colt Cabana at actually the first ever indie show I went to sometime last year, Defy Northwest Wrestling Show. Guy is tremendous. Guy's great, great to watch. Very entertaining. And this was a lot of comedy. There was a lot of antics between Yano and Delirious. Delirious all calm, but then once the bell rang, he started running around the ring, and Yano's like all scared, wondering what's going on. Makabe and Colt Cabana having some good exchanges and some antics as well. Cabana trying to show that he's strong and he can take a lot of bumps and everything. And it wasn't great. This was mostly a comedy match, kind of a bit of a cool down match. I don't think there was any doubt there wasn't going to be a title change. You did eventually have some turnbuckle pad usage, but because it's a Ring of Honor co-branded event, they didn't have the long pads like usual. They had the normal pads that went over each individual bolt, ring bolt. And Yano had more difficulty getting the turnbuckle pads undone, so they had that turnbuckle pad, and then Colt Cabana had one, and they did that, and then Delirious got a hold of it, and they each hit Yano with it. So, the impact, the tremendous impact. It actually was pretty well done. And then in the end, of course, shock of shocks, Yano hits a low blow on Delirious and gets a roll up to retain the Never Openweight titles. Never Openweight 6-man titles, that is. And then soon after, I guess Delirious was mad at Colt Cabana and hits a low blow on Colt Cabana, and then leaves with Cheeseburger. And Cheeseburger, by the way, really one of the most over guys in Ring of Honor, period. Guy's great, even for his slight stature. And Colt got, checked on by the champions, and then he left. And he left down the entrance with the champions for some reason, but oh well, it was what it was. Still not that bad. Enjoyable. Probably I would say the least of the main matches, but still very entertaining. And then we get to Will Ospreay versus Dalton Castle for the Never Openweight title. My only complaint about this match is so much loud spot calling. Now, at first I thought it was trash talking. Nope, it was loud spot calling. That's going to happen in a lot of matches because especially on big production shows, WWE, New Japan, Ring of Honor, anything with like a lot of audio around the ring, you're going to occasionally hear spots being called. This was just so goddamn noticeable. Now, maybe it's because they haven't worked together all that much on big stages, as I don't know what they do, on untelevised events. And since I know they work for different companies, that was my only complaint about this. However, this match was well done. Dalton even brought the boys with him. He got them through customs somehow. Dalton Castle is coming back from an injury, and you can kind of tell that he was still working a good style and a safe style. There was, some really good wrestling. Ospreay, of course, diving, doing some good stuff, but being a little more deliberate with some of his strikes. Castle does come back, hits a nice spike DDT. Ospreay selling the hell out of it. At least I hope so, because that was a pretty vicious DDT. Some scary bumps, some scary stuff. I mean, this is one I encourage you guys to watch to really figure out, because it's kind of hard to describe all these spots. But there were some close near falls. You thought maybe Castle would do it. There was no way any of these titles were going to change hands. The hidden blade elbow, which is, Ospreay hitting the elbow to the back of the head like he did to Ibushi to win the Never Openweight title at Wrestle Kingdom 13. And then he hits a Stormbreaker on Castle 1, 2, 3. So he retains the title to the shock of no one. Still not that bad. Pretty good match. And again, to figure out the scary bumps, encourage you guys to check this out. Not the scariest bumps that Ospreay has taken, It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And apparently, Will Ospreay will be facing Jay White on the anniversary show on March 6th. Never Openweight champion versus the IWGP Heavyweight champion, kind of calling back to what Ospreay did against Okada when he was a junior heavyweight champion at the anniversary show last year. And then we get to the final championship match of the evening. Jeff Cobb, the Ring of Honor TV champion, super nice guy, really nice guy. Got to meet him at a Defy Northwest wrestling show in October of last year. And he faced off against Hiroki Goto. And I was really excited for this one because one of my favorite matches from last year, especially for just New Japan, I mean, not just New Japan, but in general, was Jeff Cobb versus Hiroki Goto for the Never Openweight Championship. And I actually briefly talked to Cobb about that match, and he said, and he appreciated that. I mean, because I really thought that match was one of the best matches on the show, one of the best matches of the summer, easily, since both these guys super athletic and can hit some really hard moves. And I was excited for this one. It actually lived up to the reputation. I knew that there wasn't going to be a title change in no goddamn way. But it was a nice way to kind of give back, for Goto to give Cobb the rub here, even though they had a great match at the G1 Special. Some very hard chops. Goto at one point had Cobb outside and suplexed a young lion onto Cobb. A little bit unlike Goto. Maybe Goto's tired of being just seen as the workhorse and all that stuff. But still, it was good stuff. Some good submissions. Cobb does come back. Him and Goto have some nice exchanges. Yuji Hiroshi, I hope I pronounced that right. Sometimes I get the moves a little bit wrong, since I'm not cultured enough to know a lot of the moves from Japan. But some good stuff, some close near falls, but in the end, shocking, quick tour of the island slam, rounding slam, winding slam, whatever you want to call it, and Jeff Cobb retains the Ring of Honor TV title. So it was good stuff. I really did enjoy this, and it was nice to see a bit of a different side of Goto, so we'll see what happens. Then we get Okada, Tanahashi, and Jay Lethal versus the New Kingdom, Matt Taven, TK O'Ryan, and Vinny Marcellia. I wrote it down. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his name. I'm just going to say Vinny and TK. TK O'Ryan and Lethal are going to actually face off on night 2 for Lethal's Ring of Honor championship. And Matt Taven's got this whole thing going where he feels he's the uncrowned Ring of Honor champion, or the real champion, has his own belt made. And they're facing off, I believe, on the Ring of Honor anniversary show on March 15th. This was a good match. I'm not that familiar with with the other two guys. I'm familiar enough with Matt Taven to know he's pretty good. I was impressed by TK and Vinny. They did very well here. Vinny in particular has a very unique caveman-like look, if caveman had a whole lot of ink and everything. But there was some good stuff to start out. You did have Lethal, Tana, and Okada are a goddamn dream team, and if they actually wrestled, more often, I would actually be very impressed to see that. I know they work for different companies, but it would be super tremendous to see. There was some good heel work by the Kingdom, including tweaking Tanahashi's nipples. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. It was humorous, but weird. Okada did get tagged. He had some moves, but was favoring his knee at one point. Maybe he tweaked it, or maybe he's just selling it. Hopefully he's okay, because, dear God, we don't need Okada to be injured, even though injuries happen in wrestling. Lethal did get tagged. Some good stuff. Lethal did hit a dive. Ended up hitting the lethal injection on Vinny for the 1, 2, 3. The Kingdom attacks Lethal, Okada, and Tana after the match. Way to get their heat back and everything, and hype up a little bit more that Ring of Honor title match we're going to see tomorrow. But yeah, that was good stuff. And I know I ran through some of these matches kind of quickly. I try to shorten up some of these New Japan reviews if I possibly can. But night 1 was very entertaining. I will say I'm debating between a B and a B+. So I'm gonna say B. B. It was enjoyable. Most of the matches served their purpose and everything. I actually probably would have almost gone to a B-, but I will say that Shota Umino and Zack Sabre Jr. had one hell of a match, and there was some good stuff with some good storytelling to lead into night 2 and to lead into the anniversary show for New Japan and Ring of Honor in March. So anyway, B, again, pulled above my head. Please let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Also, and in case you guys maybe missed in the beginning, I might have to miss live tweeting and reviewing night 2, even though I will try to review night 2 later. Now, if I can't sleep, then I'll just have the review up like normal sometime like a few hours after it goes off the air. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin, and I will see you soon.